What is baptism? Baptism is a declaration. When someone is baptized, they're saying, I have turned to God for forgiveness and I will serve Jesus as my Lord. Both those sentences start with I, but it's actually all about Jesus. Jesus was there at the beginning of time. All things were made by him and through him. We made a mess of things, however, and we still do. So Jesus came to planet Earth. He had a plan. He was born as a baby. He went about doing good. He was crucified and buried. And he rose on the third day and is alive forever. Okay, so how does that fix things? Well, I have two problems, guilt and shame. Guilt is a result of bad things that I have done. Shame is what I feel because of who I am. We need to beware of false guilt. I've come across the term gaslighting recently, which I believe is to do with someone giving us a slightly different view of things that have happened, making it seem different, so that now suddenly it looks and feels as though it's me that's at fault for things that were nothing to do with me. And the other one is false shame. So we talk about fat shaming, and the worst example of that stands out in my mind, or just one that I remember, is from the 1970s, I think it was, Karen Carpenter, a beautiful singer, but someone, one of her directors or whoever it was, referred to that fat girl, and although she wasn't fat at all, she took that on board and became obsessed with her weight, and as a result of the resulting anorexia, it finally killed her. But aside from false guilt and false shame, there is also real guilt and real shame, and that is a problem for me. It needs dealing with. So, Jesus came with a plan. When he died, he took all my sin and paid for it once and for all. That deals with my guilt. He also rose from the dead. He conquered death and led the way to resurrection life. He ascended to heaven, and he sent his Holy Spirit to give us the power to live for him. And that deals with my shame, with dealing with the problems that arise because of me just being who I am. So how does baptism fit in with all of this? Well, first of all, it's like a bath. When I come to Jesus, I am washed from my sin. Secondly, baptism is like a grave. When I'm baptized, I go under the water, which is a place of death. I can't survive underwater, and I come up out of the water like starting a new life. So when I turn to follow Jesus, it's like I died to my old life and now live a new life with him. So when I'm baptized, I'm saying I've come to Jesus to be washed from my sin. And I'm also saying I've turned to Jesus to live a new life with him. So that's what baptism is all about.